Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
You on?
Thank you. I'd just like to say congratulations. This is a 10 years Food Fest. So we've been here 10 year.
We've been here too. It's our second year. Last year we were here as well.
Yeah, 2 years for us for the Cottage. It's going really well. We're supporting the locals. They're supporting us. For us, we were quite amazed by the amount of local and good produce that we found in this area around Plymouth. And they've really supported us in sort of helping us do what we do, which is local produce, well-produced, organic, and it really helps us. If we can get that produce, then our food comes across in a good way anyway. So there's a lot of credit to Plymouth and the surrounding areas.
I'll give a shout out to Hacknell.
And a lot of our meat comes from Hacknell, this lady here. Some produces some of the best meat.
Give us a wave.
And today we're going to do some seasonal veggie treats, which we hope is something you can take home and do a little bit yourself, because we're going to keep it simple, using fresh seasonal ingredients, which we think most of you could use at home. You're growing in the garden, or we can pick it up and give you an idea of what you could do with it. So we're going to start off with doing...
Can I mention the prize quickly first?
Prize? All right, yeah, go on.
We have a special prize today, so if anyone, we're going to base it around questions. If anyone's got a question, we want to get the audience involved, so please feel free to ask us a question. The best question wins the River Cottage hamper. We've got some local suppliers in there, some fruit, some vegetables.
And our Twitter address is in there.
And our Twitter addresses are in there as well. So in a bit we'll give some opportunities to have a nice think about what you want to ask us today.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, so we're going to start off making a little bit of Persian dukkha, which is like a spiced nut mix and seeds, which we're going to finish on top of our hummus. So we're going to start by toasting, dry toasting, some hazelnuts. You can use pistachios, you can use almonds, anything you fancy. We're going to get some coriander seeds into there, cumin seeds, a little pinch of salt, a little pinch of chili. Not too much, well, it depends how hot you like it. And some sesame seeds. So we're going to dry that roast off slightly. You can really use most spices or nuts, whatever you like for this. It's just to give a little sort of kick and a hint to the hummus or any sort of mezza dish you do. Or you can just use it with some olive oil, bread, dip it into the spice mix as a little dip.
While Joel's working that dish over there and they're toasting off,
yeah.
I'll show you my first element on my dish. We're going to make an onion bhaji. So if you've been down to the canteen, one of our most popular stuff on the menu is the onion bhaji. So we're going to use some spring onions, some red onions, and some white onions. So when we make a bhaji to start off with, we need to start off by making a batter. So I'm going to throw in here some ground cumin, some turmeric, some cayenne pepper, not too much, it's quite spicy as we all know, some ground coriander, some baking powder, and we've got some gram flour, so chickpea flour as well. That'll all go into the box there, and a little bit of sea salt to start us on the way. We're going to use normal plain water just for this one. You can use beers. You'll keep it anti-alcohol. So we've got some plain water, and as I'm whisking that, Joe will talk you through his next stage of his beetroot hummus.
Right, so we've probably smell those aromas coming off now. Getting those spices. It's always good with spices, whether you're making curry or whatever you'd like to do with it, just to give a slight toast off, just to get the aromas and the flavours coming out of it. And we're going to get that into the Robo Coupe. You can do this with a pestle mortar at home or a rolling pin. Any way to bash it up, really. This is really just a quick process for us. Give that a little pulse. We're just going to finish it off with a little bit of fresh mint, just to give it some freshness in there.
Okay, so now my batter, if you look over here, my batter's being made. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's like we call like a drop-in, runny consistency. So that's the kind of batter. You see all the spice, all the nice flavour that's in there. So like I said today, we're going to use some sliced red onions. So a little will go inside there. Some sliced spring onions, which are from one of our local suppliers. We'll give him a shout out. He's called from Kevrel Farm. He's called the Modern Salad Grower. We buy a lot of our salad, herby kind of things off Sean down at Kevrel Farm. So we'll slice them nice and nice. Got a red tint to him. So make a nice colour to our bhaji when we've done.
I must say, Sean down at Kevrel Farm, he's just over in near towards Loo. and he produces some of the most amazing organic vegetables you'll ever see. I mean, there's Robert who does his heritage tomatoes, he does spring onions, all the peppers. I don't think Robert's here today, no.
If we see him, we'll give him a shout out as well.
Some of the food they produce is amazing, especially this time of year. We've waited so long because of the wet season we've had for some produce that's coming out now.
Okay, so I'm going to throw my white onions into there.
Get some of that out.
And my spring onions in there as well. And we're going to just coat these all together so the batter's evenly coating all the bhaji's. I'm going to find a spoon. So we'll coat them all together. It's such a simple thing. We all buy them when we have a takeaway and things like that, but it's such a thing you keep all this kind of stuff in your store cupboard at home. So to be honest, you could save yourself a few pounds and make yourself some nice bhaji's. The initial purchase of the spices. But once you've got that, you can make as many as you want, really. So now you see they're all coated up. Everyone see there? See above me there? Into the camera.
The nice thing about bhaji is you can put anything in there you like, whether it's cauliflower, something knocking around the bottom of the fridge that you want to use up and you need to disguise the flavour of it. Just make the batter, throw it in there and give it a little fry, and it's a great way of using up any veg you've got.
Perfect. So what we do now, we like to leave our onion bhaji for a few hours just so the onions start to break down and the spices get to work inside there. So in true Blue Peter style, we've brought some onion bhaji mix we made earlier.
Okay, back onto the hummus. We're going to do a beetroot and walnut hummus today. It's a great product to use for this. I mean, obviously you're probably more known for the chickpea hummus. We also make white bean hummus. I mean, most pulses and a lot of veg will make a hummus. You know, you don't have to be just chickpeas. So we're going to get some beetroot into the Robo Coupe. Just enough. And also going to get in some toasted walnuts in there, which we toasted earlier. And a little bit of breadcrumbs, just helps bind it because beetroot's quite a sort of wet vegetable. And this one here. A little squeeze of lemon. Which is, I mean, lemon, tahini, garlic and sort of coriander is sort of the main basis normally of your general hummus. This one, a little bit extra, it's got the walnuts and it's also got a little bit of toasted cumin, which I'll get to, and the breadcrumbs to help bind it. So toasted cumins, nice bit of tahini, I can get it out.
Okay, Okay, so while you're over here, I'm just going to, while my bhaji's are in there cooking, so they're cooking at a nice low heat. We don't want to cook them too fast because they'll burn and they won't be cooked out in the middle. I'm going to make a raita. So we're going to use some cucumbers, also from Sean's farm, across near Loom. So we're going to grate some cucumbers. Also in the raita, we're going to put some nice natural yogurt, organic natural yogurt, and some mint and coriander. And then we should have our first tasting board so everyone to have a little try around as we're going around. Should we have our first question round, Joe?
Yeah, go on. Anyone got a question for us?
Anyone got a question? Yes, madam, please. Yeah.
Overall styling is we don't generally have a style as such. We do a lot of European style foods, Moroccan, the spices. It's more about the produce we use rather than being British style food. So you'll find like the bhaji, you know, Indian style. It's more about the produce we use, but then giving it a twist to any sort of style we like, really.
Very to a lot of the restaurants that myself and Joe have both worked in, we create the menu around the ingredients we have instead of getting the ingredients around the menu. That's how we like to describe our kind of menu down at the canteens.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we won't know until 11 o'clock what's on the lunch menu. So it depends, you know, how the weather's been, the fisherman's been out, managed to catch some fish, what's been picked that morning. It makes it challenging, but also fun for us.
I'm also going to put into my raita some grated garlic. Not too much, don't want to be too strong now.
No. Back to the hummus. I've just added some garlic, and we're going to start giving this a little whiz. So I've got my beetroot, lemon, breadcrumbs, tahini, toasted cumin seeds, a little bit of salt. And while that's going round, and it's just starting to form, we'll also add a little bit of rapeseed oil, but it doesn't matter which oil we use. We use rapeseed because it's more of a British growing thing, but you can use olive oil, veg oil, whatever you've got at home really, but rapeseed just gives it a slightly more sort of nutty flavour to it.
We have a slight power issue over here, Joe. Just wait for them to get a bit crispy. We'll have a little try on there.
I've nicked it all through, mate. That's all.
He's got the gas over there, yeah? Have a little board, mate.
The gas was looking low. We might be running out. Okay, so the hummus is coming along lovely. I'm just going to warm up some flatbreads that we made earlier. It's a really simple recipe we make for flatbreads, basic flatbread dough, a couple of kilos of 00 flour, bread flour, we put some yogurt in it, some thyme, and just a little bit of yeast. So we're going to warm them up, which we're going to serve with the hummus, and that's the next dish. Perfect. Let's have a little check of the hummus.
Are there any more questions? That's why we've got a few minutes there waiting for our items to cook. The cucumbers, obviously, because there's a lot of water in the cucumbers, yeah. We don't want, if we add that to the yogurt, over time it'll just become very watery. And when you dip your bhaji into it, it'll be very like, just watery. It'll be falling off you and your shirt will get all covered in water and stuff like that, so. Okay. You okay on that one, Joe?
Yeah, probably fit one more question in before we, Adam, go. Yeah.
And being on a student budget, but it's really interesting cooking. What is a good thing for me to say to him? Have a go at this recipe or this type of seafood.
In seafood?
What using seafood? I mean, seafood. You know, you're better off maybe starting with. It's difficult because we won't promote prawns and certain things here because of the sustainability. Locals here, a lot of mussels. Squid, when it's in season. Squid's quite a nice one to play with. It's
Pollock
not so
fish
easy
and chips
to get
is a good one there, Joe, isn't it?
Sorry?
Pollock fish and chips and stuff like that. Pollock, yeah, it's quite a sustainable fish. We have to promote pollock and whiting.
Yeah.
They're both very
mackerel for us is a very versatile dish. We like using that a lot. But just lightly grilled. If you buy it fresh and line caught from your local fishmonger, it's always really fresh anyway. So you don't need to do too much with it. You don't need to play too much. But if he's not too fond of it, then normally sort of breading it or putting some flour, egg, breadcrumbs and battering it almost like a fish and chips. That's how I get my little boy to eat it. He loves it.
Thank you.
Right, so the hummus, it's got a nice, really deep colour on that one. It's one of my favourite hummuses. It's not as heavy and stodgy as chickpea. It's really light, refreshing, and it's something I generally have on the menu quite a lot of work because I just can't get enough of it personally. So I'm just going to check my flatbreads. Nice and warm.
So now I've just turned the little gas up a little bit on that bhaji.
You've got it working now, Chef.
Hopefully we can have some crispy bhajis. We don't want no soggy bhajis now, do we?
All right, so I'm going to put the hummus into a bowl. And we're going to add a little bit of mint yogurt. We've added a little bit of oil to it. Could drizzle this over the top. And then a little sprinkle of that dukkha, if I can find it, Chef. Thank you. Just help with that really sort of nutty flavour when you dip into that. And as I said, this nut spice is really nice just on its own as well, with some olive oil and bread. And that's absolutely lovely. I'll get a little piece of, I'll nick some of your cresses, Chef.
Down the bottom, down the bottom.
Down the bottom. And one of the nice things to go with this, a little bit of coriander. And again, these micro cresses, organically grown by Sean at Keverall Farm. He's got a huge micro cress tunnels going on up there in near Lou. And we're going to serve this with a little bit of flatbread, just to duck in there. And a tiny drizzle of rapeseed oil back over the top. So there we have beetroot and walnut hummus with mint yogurt, Parisian baked nuts, which we call dukkha, and a little bit of homemade flatbread.
Where's Brie? Is Brie around?
Thank you.
Want to come round and give some tasters to everyone? Need some spoons, don't we? Okay, Marie's going to pass some of these beetroot and walnut hummus around here. So please come to the front, have a little taste. Leave that off the presentation for me, can you, Marie? Marie, hello.
You
okay there? It's a heavy one. Okay.
So,
Finally waiting for these bhajis to get crispy.
still not crisp enough.
Still not crispy enough. Okay, my second dish over here is going to be a tabbouleh salad. So tabbouleh is cracked wheat. So you feel like in their store cupboards quite a lot. So all we've done for this is we've cooked it for 20 minutes in a lemony, orangey, olive oil kind of liquid water stock. So we've left it in there with some rosemary, some bay leaf, some thyme. So we've got quite a lot of vegetables, different types of fruit we're going to throw in there today. So we have some tomatoes, some heritage tomatoes, some spring onions, some nice diced green peppers, some diced red onion from Riverford Farm, just down over there with their veg boxes, some nice organic peas, which we popped earlier today, a little bit of red and green chili, depending on how spicy you like this, some little diced segments of orange, and the juice, very important you get the juice in there, and not forgetting some cucumber. Okay, also going to put some nice extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to chop some coriander, parsley, and mint, and some basil into that. And then we'll marinate that one up, and then we'll let everyone have a little taste of that one as well.
Good stuff. Next on the list, we're going to make a little bit of broad bean and goat's cheese brochette. You can use for this peas, anything you grow from the garden, your peas, your runner beans, fevs.
Yep.
We're going to use broad beans today. So we've got a little bit of goat's cheese, which we're using Volscombe goat's cheese, which we're going to soften up slightly. Just get a little batter down. And into this, we're going to add some natural yogurt, just to get it a little bit creamy, using brown cow yogurt. And the lovely thing about this is, you know, with the goat's cheese mix, you can get any sort of summer greens in there. Today we're putting it onto a brochette, so we can wrap it in a flatbread as you had earlier, or you're trying now. It's a nice, quick, easy snack for lunch. So I'm going to try and make it look easy.
We'll put that one on the display table down there afterwards, okay?
So into the goat's cheese mix, we're going to add get the broad beans in there. Again, these are from Keverall Farm, just up the road. And also some fresh herbs I've got today. Doesn't matter too much what you stick in here, but I've got some tarragon, some mint, and a little bit of parsley, just to give it a little bit of freshness.
Quick question session.
Any questions? Yeah. Sorry, sir? Yeah.
We'd like to think it's our professional knowledge. You know, we do like to try to work on that. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes we have really strong chilies because the organic, there's no control of how strong the tomato is. It's all about tasting, eating, things like that.
I think of herbs, it's good to stick with what you know. You know, basil goes really nice with tomato, and you know it goes, you know, really nice with certain fish. Tarragon goes very nice with white fish and creamy sauces.
Can't get them.
You know, and it's good to sometimes experiment. You don't always know. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you find you think, oh, didn't know that went so well. You know, I was having a sandwich at home yesterday. I was having some Parma ham on bread, and I had some fresh coriander with it, which I haven't tried before, and it went down really well. You know, so it's quite often. It's different for us because normally you write a menu, and then you would purchase your ingredients for that menu. For us, it's more about what's coming through the door, and we've got to work on that and play with it, make it interesting. Because at winter time, we learn how to do a lot of things with a parsnip and a bit of red cabbage.
Yeah, there's only so much you can get in the winter, yeah.
Yes, and it changes twice a day. So it's every service is depending on what's available and what's coming through the door for us.
And then there'll be a winter and summer.
Yeah, yes. So I've got my goat's cheese, yogurt, some fresh tarragon, mint, parsley. I'm just going to put a very small amount of garlic in here. You don't really want to be able to taste it. It's really just there for a very small background flavour. Otherwise, if it's too overpowering, you'll lose that freshness from the dish. And a
let Marie go
tiny
around.
squeeze.
Sorry there, Joe.
Of
Let
lemon.
Marie go around with some of my long, slow-cooked onion bhaji's there, so please feel free. Try an onion bhaji. Okay, so my tabbouleh is more or less finished now. I've just adjusted it with a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, a bit more oil, and some lemon juice. I'm just going to finish that with some of our cresses.
Let's get another question in, please. Yes, sir. Do I do home visits? Not yet. Depends how much wonga you're going to offer me. So I've got my mix ready to go. Yes, madam.
Can I get some more hot split tabbouleh?
Sometimes it's sometimes it's from sort of previous knowledge. If we've seen that, go, yeah, I really know, it's a nice dish we've tried before, or we've got certain other ingredients, we'll tweak it slightly. Sometimes we've got an idea of what's in season, what's coming in, so we can pre-plan and think about nice things that are coming on. And sometimes it really is sort of freestyling and trying it out. But as well, quite often it's just from sort of previous things we've used, and then tweaking it to a certain veg or what produce is in stock. That's the moment. They always come whole. We have to pot them ourselves at work, so it is a big job. I mean, we have today. You can eat them raw. It depends what you're using it for. Depends what sort of dish. Or it's a light salad. I mean, normally we'll give it a very quick blanch and then into ice water, just so it's still got a slight al dente crunch to it, but it's still got that real freshness to it. Right. So for the broad bean brochette, we've done some char grilled toast. But you're welcome to use just some toast in a toaster for this. You could use some flatbread, use some rye bread, raita, whatever it is you prefer at home or whatever sort of diet you're on. And with the broad bean brochette, it really is a lovely sort of summertime snack from summer vegetables. Quite often we'll add green beans to this. But these broad beans have been blanched very lightly, just to take a little bit of it, so it's not quite so crunchy.
Just while Joe's making that dish look pretty, we have a Plymouth Canteen summer fair this Wednesday. So if any of you are around on Wednesday, we have a summer fair. We've got local producers down, we have a bar down there, and we've also done a barbecue out there. I won't spoil the surprise what we're doing. We've got our own barbecue. Joe will be cooking on the barbecue himself, while the rest of us chefs are working hard in the kitchen. He'll be enjoying the sun, hopefully. The sun will come out. It was me, but...
I'll be the one with beer in my hand.
It was me, but the sun, it's forecast sun, so the rotor's changed slightly. So Joe will be there. So pop along to that. We've got some nice producers down there, serving some wines and some beers and some ciders, things like that. So please feel free, come down.
Sorry? At River Cottage in the Royal William Yard in Plymouth. We're the last unit on the end, just down there. It is absolutely stunning down there. But yeah, this Wednesday we'll be doing a little treat, and it's great for the kids. Lots of things for the kids going on, so it's a really nice sort of family day out. Just come and check us out. You don't have to spend your money there. You can just come and look.
Okay, I'm going to pass Marie round with some tabbouleh salad. Just one of the knives and forks.
She's run off.
I'll grab them for you. Okay.
We've also got some brochette coming out for you guys to try. I'll also take any more questions. Yep. The raita.
Need a little bowl or something, mate. Got a bowl or anything? Here we go. There you go then, Marie.
Yeah, I mean, you can put whatever you like with it. I mean, raita traditionally is onion and cucumber and lemon and some mint. But with the yogurt, you can mix anything you like. Peppers, yeah, lovely, absolutely lovely. And you can use that at the bhaji, and even the raita would even go lovely with the tabbouleh. It also go lovely with the hummus we made. It's quite versatile. Play around. It's quite good.
That's it.
That's it.
Brett's just finishing up our bruschettas. We'll get them out to you.
Well, we need to choose a winner.
Choose a winner.
We need to choose a winner from the best question.
Got some good ones out there, haven't we?
Which is very difficult.
The university one was very good. Coming down to study, that was quite a good one with the fish. Who else have we got? Some reminders, really.
Andy.
Shall I pick, shall I?
Pick the winner.
I'm going to go for the winner, best question today, because cooking is all about flavours and how things match, how things par up, how things work together. So I think, if Joe's okay with it, the winner of the best question is a gentleman regarding what flavours go with which.
Round of applause, please. No worries.
Sorry if anyone else lost out there, but it's some good questions there, so thank you very much.